Okay, I guess we will continue at 1 p.m. ...2024 by Unity.
Thank you. Welcome everyone to our session. I hope you are enjoying the event today. I will talk about game monetization essentials today and state of monetization in general. I will try to share some key insights from Unity data. I hope you can find them valuable. So I am Aykut. I am working in. Is it okay? I am working in Unity as senior business development, responsible for Turkish market. I am trying to help Turkish developers to grow in this competitive landscape. Before joining Iron Source, I was leading global business development efforts in AdColony, now Digital Turbine. So let's start. Before diving into details, I would like to share how mobile market is doing in 2024. Based on our data, we see that there are more players more users are playing games than ever. If you take a look to, okay, sorry. If you look the graph that you can see in 2022, mid 2022, average daily active users per country is around 40K, and now it reached 50K levels as the start of the year. Actually, this is a really nice trend and shows us that our industry is growing day by day. I think, which is great news for everyone. However, when we look at the IAP trends, which is actually sad, we see that IAP revenue is declining. On the left-hand side, you can see IAP revenue by region. On the right-hand side, you can see IAP ARPDAU by platforms. As you can see on the right-hand side, it's quite significant decline over both OS. So this highlights us that we need to think about our monetization strategies in this year and try to optimize it in a better way. Let's go over with monetization basic. I believe most of you are familiar with the term that we call growth loop. On the growth loop side, you have two sides. On the right side, you can see the game, which is the part that your game products affect on the growth. On the left-hand side, we have the market, where users are there. So we start with a few players playing our game. And then you want to monetize your users while controlling the game experiences. You can do that by two revenue main streams. One of them is IAP, the other one is in-app advertising. IAP happens through your game store, and in-app advertising happens when a user is watching an ad. The ad format can be either user-initiated, some kind, like rewards, or rewarded video, or offer wall. Or it can be system-initiated, like interstitials and banners. Obviously, you need to make sure your users are retained over time and also engage with your game. Retained users will come back to and play your game, and engaged users will probably spend more within your game or watch ads more often. And revenue from in-app purchase and in-app advertising, together with your ability to retain and engage, is factored into value that we called lifetime value, LTV. The next step is optimizing your monetization based on the data that you have, and you also need to use different insights or ideas, suggestions to make better monetization and use better mechanics in your game. You know your users best, and you need to try and answer their needs using different offerings. On the S side, we call this ad implementation. In addition, if for in-app ads, you need to use a mediation platform like we have Unity Level Play in order to get best demands, optimize ad serving, and control ad experience. We call this ad optimization. For your information, as Unity, we are also giving game consultancy services, unique game consultancy services, tailor-made for specific games, where we are trying to improve in-app purchases, in-app ads, retention, and engagement, along with the game owners. If you want to take more information about it, please let me know. On the left-hand side, we have the game, where is the market. You need to optimize your user acquisition at a scale in a ROI positive way by reinvesting your revenue into the different channels based on LTV that you are seeing in those channels. This return on investments allows you to invest more in development like live ops, which is quite important, events and content. Those also will help you to engage and retain users more oftenly. In total, we call this a growth loop, which is a basic formula for running a successful game business. Now we covered basics, and I want to get into the business and talk about 4 important tips for running a successful game business. The first tip is to always segment your users into different behavioral buckets. Every player is different and they have different needs, and therefore they need to be monetized differently. There isn't necessarily a better or worse player. There is a right strategy to monetize effectively per each user. Here, Here I have an example for how you can segment your players. We use 2 factors like more willing to spend and engagement. Casual players, for example, might have play like a couple of minutes in a day, but whereas hardcore players probably play for hours across different sessions. In here, most of the developers are focusing the type 2 because they have high engagement and more willingness to spend. That's why they are getting a lot of focus from the developers, creators, and they focus on the live ops, content, and more. But the interesting point for today is you can make money from all types of users, all 4 types of users, by using the 2 revenue systems, which is IAP and in-app purchases. For example, in group 1, players are less engaged, but they are more likely to spend money within your game. In here, rewarded as can help you to monetize that in a better way. Rewards can increase their engagement, such as power-ups or energy that make them play longer. For example, let's say they keep failing a level and get frustrated. You actually want to give them an option to watch a video to complete that level and making them more engaged with your game. On the IAP side, starter packs works really great for these kind of users and makes them more engaged with your game and product. Group 4 users are highly engaged but unwilling to spend IAP. These players engage exceptionally well with rewarded as and offer wall. They are willing to spend more time in the game. So with rewarded video and offer wall, they have chance to get premium currency. So they have chance to test the premium features of the game, and it helps them to convert into payers. Also, I can say this kind of mechanics works for me on several games, and I use these free rewarded videos and offer wall. Then I like the game and I start buying. So definitely you need to try. Last group is group 3. Actually, this is the biggest group in this segmentation. Those users are less engaged and less willing to spend. It makes sense because most of the people are in this behavior. In here, you can use rewarded ads again, but also you can use system-initiated ads, which are interstitial and banners. Why we are doing this? Because they are already non-payers, and you need to squeeze the lemon out of it. And you need to make money from those big portion of the users. On user level, their revenue, the revenue that you created from per user could be minimum, but since the group is quite big, the incremental revenue income that you can generate could be really high. My second tip is adjust monetization strategy based on your progression. You want to change your monetization strategy based on user progression as well as segmentation that we discussed. In this example, we divided users into 3 groups, like 3 groups on time-based stage, like early game, mid game, and the late game. Each stage should have different goals for the user and also for the developer to monetize effectively. We use 1-2 week period in this example, but it can change for different games, different genres. Here, I want to go over some examples for the early stage game, mid game, and the late stage game. In the early stage game, your goals are engage and convert the user. From a content perspective, your users go through the first-time user experience, and they are just getting to use your core mechanics, core loop, and they are just getting used to your game progression model. The content should be focused on engaging players with the game, and it should help them to understand what's the game about. You need to give enough resources to users in this stage. So in monetization, you can leverage starter packs, energy, lives, stamina systems, or also rewarded video ads. In this pie chart, you can see different type of purchases by IAP breakdown. You can see that we have 3 significant groups in here. The most popular are currency, bundles, and limited time events. At this stage, it's really important to create compelling offers, attractive offers that will increase the chance to convert your early game players into purchases. I will explain why this is important in our next slide. Also, you can combine this limited time events, bundles, currency into a starter pack, and you can make it compelling and offer to your users. So why it's really important to convert your users as early as possible? As you can see in our data, and by the way, these are data. These data are from our Unity running devices, like billions of, we examine billions of devices running games made by Unity. I don't know how much exactly the number, but it's our pool data. So why it's important to convert your users as early as possible? As you can see, the first conversion rate is less than 3%, while second purchase rates are 10 times higher from this. So you have a chance to convert your users, like a 30% chance to convert your users for second purchase. This really important in terms of making your first offer as compelling, because it should be also worthwhile for users, so that it trigger the second purchase, and they need to know what kind of deal they are getting. It's also important. As we said earlier, starter pack is a great way for no-brainer big discount purchases. As you can see, starter packs are being bought by early game players at a 3 times higher than mid-game or late-game players. So again, I want to underline that those starter packs and offers have a key importance, and they should be compelling, and you can add time-limited elements and randomization, maybe such as loot boxes or gacha systems. For the mid-game, your goals are retain and convert users. The players played enough to progress in your game, and they started to develop their habits to play your game. So you can introduce seasonal events or social multiplayer systems. On the IAP monetization side, you can use variety of metrics like piggy banks, boosters, gacha systems, premium subscriptions, and also you can start trying your ad strategy, and you should test rewarded ads, maybe also interstitial for non-paying users. This is also nice to remember. 75% of your players who will turn into payers will make it by day 25. So you are in a hurry, in a race to convert your mid-game players as early as possible. So you need to work on the tailor-made offers that could be suitable for them. Along the same line, 90% of your spenders will repurchase, make their second purchase within 30 days from their initial purchase. So you can try daily deals as a practice to convert your first purchase user to second purchase and make them sustainable payers. In the late game stage, your goals are convert and increase complexity. Monetization should focus on time-limited events, and you can use season pass and special bundles to monetize. Currency is always a strong seller because with progression within your game, game progression becomes harder and harder, and that's why currency matters a lot. My third tip is monetize your non-payers with ads. I believe you will like this info. In here, you can see that even the most successful games are having hard time to convert their users to payers. Only 3.6% of the users, total users, only converting the in-app purchases. What you will do about the rest, the other 97% of users? In here, ads gets into the picture. You can use different ad formats like user-initiated, like rewarded ads, video ads, and offer wall, and also system-initiated ads like banners and interstitial. Of course, and it should be based on your game genre and your user base. Here, this is my favorite part of the presentation. I would like to go over some myths that people are saying in the market, and probably you hear these myths a lot. First one is actually people say that ads hurt retention. I would like to hear your opinion. If you think this is the correct, maybe you can raise your hand. Do you think this comment is correct? Okay. Most of the people don't believe. Actually, we see that, and based on our data and observations, we see that as actually improve retention when they implement it correctly. In here, you can see retention numbers with ads and without ads. As you can see, the game with ads has a higher retention than the games with IAP only. And you can ask, why is that like this? As I mentioned earlier, rewarded videos, for example, can unlock content even before the player is coming to stage to make their first purchase. You can give them a premium currency test by using the rewarded videos, and they can understand your game better, and they can engage more, so that you can turn them, you make their retention much higher. In here we also have how rewarded ads impact on retention. You can see from the graph, using both rewarded and offer wall have higher retention than games that are using only one ad unit and without ads, only IAP. In addition to this, I want to share info about the sessions. As you can see from the graph, session time and the frequency of the users is much higher with the rewarded ads. For example, rewarded ads has timers, cooldowns, and you can send push notification to your users when there is a reward ready, and increase their session time. So, second myth is hardcore gamers or most engaged part of your users hate ads. Well, actually it makes sense on theory, but in reality, we see that mid and late stage players across all genres watch more ads. In here, we compared mid and late stage players engagement over genres. You can clearly see that highly engaged players are watching more ads in mid and late stage because of two reasons. First, they are engaged with your content and interested with your game, and they spend more time. And second, the progression curve is getting more steeper, so they need extra benefits like rewarded ads and the other formats that they can use. My last myth is ads hurt in a purchase revenue. There is also a big misunderstanding about it. Actually, we see that ads increase IAP revenue when they implement it correctly. It's also an important point. If you do ad monetization strategy correctly, definitely it will help your retention, engagement, and also drive higher revenues. We have a case study here with Big Fish. You can also find it on our website. We see that paying users who were exposed to offer wall ad unit grew their IAP numbers by 10%, along with their incremental ad revenue coming from the offer wall. In total, app total revenue increased 13%. So ads offer reward that help to increase ad revenue, of course, and also it help to drive higher IAP revenue and increase your total revenue, which help you to be more competitive in the market on the user acquisition and getting ahead of your competitors. Why is this is like that? Because with rewarded formats, you give players testing the experience that they could have with IAP spending, so it increases their likeliness to spend more time and convert to IAP. I will go over best ad placement quickly. Here you can see engagement per ad placement for rewarded video ad unit. A highly engaged reward type is content sensitive, such as additional moves. Once player run out moves, and you can offer. In here you also offer player a chance to increase their odds of winning the game, and you offer this when they need it most, and mostly it works really well. Second, we say daily rewards works quite well. For example, watching a video on a daily basis as a login reward, maybe for daily login reward, can help to increase your engagement. You also train your users with a good habit, and you teach them to keep returning your game regularly. Last one is gacha and randomized rewards. They should be the most compelling one among these. Instead of offering 10 coins to users, you make a bundle and increase their chances to value to 100%, 100 coins. But on average, you only give like 10 coins actually. So it's and if you are not making this really hard or hard to win, it works really well. We also found that rewarded placements frequency is quite high, like with the additional moves, and it helps to increase session time, number of sessions with the users. You need to offer them when they need, so timing is quite important, because the timing is timing matters when you timing is matter about when you are showing the ads. So you should use this in a good way, and when they run out resources, it's great time to offer rewarded ads to them to keep them playing. It could be like additional moves, currency, boosters, something like that. My last tip is utilizing the revenue channels that match with your game. In here, you can see the less successful games, like getting into the 20% percentile. In here, you can see more or less balance between ads and IAP. When we come to the most successful games, like the 18th percentile, you can see that monetization strategies changes, and they can use extreme ways to monetize their users. For example, on casino, RPG, and adventure, most of the revenue is coming from the IAP. But genres like arcade, racing, and words, most of the revenue coming from ads. This shows us you need to find the right balance for your game. You need to always A/B test and constantly challenge to your monetization strategy, because there could be another way to maximize your monetization return. So let me summarize what we learned in this session. The first learning is that you should always segment your users on different behavioral buckets and adjust your monetization strategy accordingly. You can make money from all type of users. You don't need to focus on the most engaged and most willing to one. You can differentiate your monetization strategy and maximize the return. Second one is you should add time-based stage element to your users, and you need to optimize your monetization strategy accordingly. We looked at some of the best working IAP offers per user progression, and highlighted that early player-to-payer conversion is quite important to make guarantee to second purchase and higher engagement. Then we talk about why you need to monetize 97% of your players with ads, and busted a few old myths about ads monetization. Definitely, we see that if ads are implemented correctly in a right way, there is a great value associated with it. And it should be done by a way like considering your IAP and player types. And also you need to think about what kind of ad placement could be working for you. Last one is utilizing the revenue channels that work best for you. It could be IAP or ads. But you need to find the right balance, like best game developers are doing. You need to always challenge your monetization strategies and try new things and see how it goes. And this is a maybe repetitive process, but you need to push harder on the monetization strategy side. Thank you for all joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the session, or at least intel that I am sharing based on Unity data. If you have questions, maybe I can get, or maybe not. I think there is no questions, right? Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice conference.